So, except for our man with the camera there, if you have ever given a presentation, ever, can you stand up? Okay, and if you've ever been nervous while giving a presentation, raise your left hand. Keep it up. If you think the ability to give a good presentation is important for your career, then raise your right hand. Okay, and if you think you'd like to get better at giving presentations, then lift up your left foot. And now, you can sit down. I'm going to tell you 4 very short stories. A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, no, here, and it was 1997, a young boy auditioned for the part of Aslan in his school production of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And he didn't do this alone, he auditioned with someone else, because Aslan's, he's a lion, he's quite big, so it was a bit like a pantomime horse. There was going to be a front half and a back half. And they agreed that over the 6 nights of the performance, one of them would be the front and the other would be the back, so they'd both learn lines. And come up a few weeks before the performance, the nerves got control of this young boy, and he decided he just couldn't do it. He couldn't risk forgetting his lines on stage. So for a week, he spent his life being the rear end of Aslan. That fear stopped him from getting back on a stage for 6 years. Story number 2. It's 2011. We're in the Hammersmith Apollo. A comedian walks on stage. Everyone's paid £35 to see him, and after an hour, he walks off to the sound of rapturous applause and laughter, and he walks into the bathroom and then throws up through nerves. Everyone gets scared. Story number 3. Just any Tuesday night. We're in Stoke Newington. It's the weekly pub quiz, and sitting there is a slightly geeky guy. He's about 23, 24. It might not be a work presentation, but he's reading out the pub quiz questions. He's still absolutely petrified. There are 100 people waiting for him to make a mistake, basically. But he knows that the rush of doing a good pub quiz is totally worth it. The rewards are worth the risk. Story number 4. It's May 2010, and that little boy who once played the rear end of Aslan is standing on the side of the stage, and as the lights dim and the music comes up, he walks out onto the stage. In front of him is the CEO of BAE Systems, the French ambassador, the German ambassador, quite a few members of the Tory government, and he starts talking. And even that little boy managed to learn confidence. Back when I went to university, it was a drastic contradiction. The bit of me that went to go and study performing arts, I did drama and music, because some of me wanted to just get up on stage and talk and do Shakespeare. And the other bit of me wanted to be hiding under the chair because I was just so scared. Like many comedians, I have a craving to be recognised. I think we all have that craving to be taken notice of. And that pushed me into going into public speaking, to getting my Toastmaster certificate. In the end, it pushed me into doing my Masters in Psychology. But I'm not confident. And many of you know me. A lot of you will think, if anything, I'm probably a little too extroverted, a little too confident, enjoy the limelight and jumping on chairs during presentations just a little bit too much. But I'm not. I'm not an extrovert. I desperately love going home every evening and spending time either on my own or just with my flatmate. I am shy. You'd never believe it. I find things like this absolutely terrifying. Hell, I find coming to work terrifying most of the time. But if that little boy, the rear end of Aslan, could grow up and become someone who can stand in front of a group and talk without shaking too much, then what can the rest of you become? Thank you.